All right, everyone. Welcome to White Oak Creek Outdoors Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I want to start off by thanking our sponsor, the Virtue Builders. Without them, we wouldn't be able to be doing this podcast thing. And in this episode, we kind of nerd out a little bit. We get into gear, setups, just get right into the nitty-gritty of things. We've got the whole crew here talking about it, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. This is White Oak Creek Outdoors, a podcast for everyone with a passion for the outdoors.
What up, Sid?
Not much.
All right, we're back.
It's just a fucking awkward experience.
More punishment. All right, so tonight we've got myself, Brandon LaVirtue.
Got Chris over here, Chris Bloche.
Brando.
Sit.
All right, we're going to get right into the whole gear conversation here. We're going to break everything down, and we'll start with some, let's get right into some clothing.
So I use just a straight up specials. I have like a Columbia outfit that I got from the special, like matches, and I think I have like some random like outdoor shoes, not hiking boots or anything like that. So I just use that. But I don't know what else either. Like it's like a lightweight, and then I'll just throw on layers, like my waffle shirt underneath it, and like long johns. And then that's really it for me.
Is it because you don't know enough about hunting clothes, or you just that's what you're cool with?
A little bit of both. So like I've heard the stories or like conversations that people say like the market of hunting and whatnot is like, oh, get the newest gear, and like this just like the business side of it, right? Where you need to have the newest outfits or like the scent-free stuff, or it's made by this company and it's held in this kind of material. So, but I've also seen dudes hunting in like red flannel and jeans and like cowboy boots.
Yeah.
So it's like which one, what really does what? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's a common thing up where I come from.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I grew up. Is a red plaid coat and some jeans.
A LeBonville jacket, probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what you wore through the woods. I mean, we used to do deer drives, and my uncle would wear the plaid, the jeans, smoking a cigarette, walking through the woods in dirty clothes, and they always shot deer. So I don't think it's necessarily about the clothing, what you have. I think it's more personal preference, what you're comfortable with, and it's more.
And probably what you're trying to do too. I mean,
right.
He probably doesn't care if he's smoking a cigarette, being loud as fuck, going through the woods with a deer drive.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of it's scent control, which we're gonna jump into that too. But what do you use, Chris?
Usually nothing fancy, just either Cabela's or Walmart. Kind of just go to the Walmart hunting section. I mean, speaking of that, have you ever seen that video on YouTube about this guy has a stance on clothing? He literally buys the basic of the video is like, you don't have to buy the newest, latest, greatest thing.
Right.
You can buy simple like sports wear as thermal layers, and that's good, especially for cold weather. Mm-hmm. And then use that scent control detergent. Yeah. Which I think I'm kind of in that boat. Mm-hmm. But I do pack my clothing in like a storage bin with leaves and stuff in it. Just an extra mile to go.
Absolutely.
Now, do you do that over the whole like off season or during hunting season alone?
Yeah, they'll be in the tote with the leaves. They're in there right now. I mean, they're gonna come. Yeah. They'll come out there and.
It's your nightstand.
Yeah. I have no idea.
They'll come out during hunting season, and then they'll go into the washer dryer with that scent, like the scent-free detergent, and they even have the scent-free dryer sheets. And then, if I don't think I like sweat too bad in them, they'll probably go in the tote overnight or for the week, because it's just like it's literally dirt, leaves, and twigs in there.
Oh, I need to do that. See, that's something I've never done before.
That's what I used to do.
Really?
Sid?
I haven't gone out hunting since I was like 15 with you and Dad, so.
You didn't go out with Chris?
No, not yet.
Oh.
I really want to go
Sure.
out with the bow, though.
Oh, we're doing that this year.
Yeah.
What I do is, so I used to run just Walmart stuff. Then I got into the whole Under Armour kick, and then I switched over to all Cabela's brand stuff. And what I do is I'm crazy about scent control. So what I'll do is I'll wash it like 3 times with the scent-free detergent. Goes through the dryer with the dryer sheets. I like to get the earth ones because they smell just like dirt. And then what I'll do is I'll get some hemlock cut-offs, put them in the bottom of the tote. Excuse me. And then I'll put the dryer detergent sheets
In there.
in the tote as well.
Like the
So
scent
it's,
ones?
yeah, so it's all just scent-free, and I don't put my clothes on until I get out to the woods.
So yeah, I did that last year, not last year, the year before when I went hunting. I would have my normal clothes and I went out there and then I would change
Mhm.
and then I'd go out to the spot. But I mean, I guess it did make a difference but I always sprayed like the scent stuff on my
Scent away?
Yeah.
Or the scent lock, yeah.
Yeah. The bottom of my boots.
Yep.
See, I'm not as anal as he is. I'll wear them in my truck
Yeah.
and then I'll spray myself down with it.
Yeah, I'm bad with it. My boots, I wear the Irish Setter. Like they're like hiking boots, but they're taller.
Mm-hmm.
I was running muck boots, but they suck to walk in. But they're good for like snow or anything like that. I don't wear gloves. The only time I'll wear gloves is if it's like stupid cold, like 20 degrees, and that I wear Under Armour. That's about it for clothing.
So when you say you use Under Armour, is it all like hunting Under Armour?
Mhm.
See, that's the thing with that, because you can buy just normal thermal Under Armour for like, say, $20, but the hunting side of it's
I know.
like 20, like 30, 35.
It's jacked up just because it's camo.
Right.
Yeah. Backpack. Do you guys use backpacks?
Yeah. So I have an Alpine backpack and it has
That's what I
like
have.
it has like a flap in the front where it can come down and it's like a thin metal, probably aluminum or something like that. And you can like use it as a rest, so you can put like your goggles or any other like your release or your gloves and stuff on it, and I'll rest on it because it has it makes like a little platform.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And then it can carry like my bow and or my gun,
Yep.
so it has that feature.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, so that's like it's like $80 on Amazon, but awesome.
Yeah.
I got like a $40 backpack off Amazon, and I think it's great. It's just a small little day pack, but I keep my binoculars, my rangefinder in there, my scent away. Also, like either some doe urine, literally anything. I mean, I think this past, when I was setting up the tree stand, I loaded it up with like a couple of hatchets and saws. It was a great little backpack for $40, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, with that being said, I'm probably the cheapest one out of us here. It's like, if I don't have to spend my money on it, I'm not gonna. If I can get away with the cheapest, that's where we're gonna go.
Right. I mean, if it works, it works. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Um,
I mean, it's not bad too, because like it's got the hip wraps too, so it's like good support.
oh, okay. Yep.
And I mean, that's where I keep my binoculars and my rangefinders, right in the hip pouches. And so
Easy access.
yeah, it's right there when I need it.
I want to say I took the hip ones off of mine.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought about putting them back on. But
I like them.
yeah.
I mean, that's just me, because I like the pouches that they have. And like I said, like my rangefinder's tiny, and it's only like a 400 yarder, and the binoculars are a small one too, so they just fit into the pouches perfect.
Yeah.
I think I have an Alpine as well. Mine doesn't have the fold option on like yours does, but it's got the option from the bow and the gun in the back. Big middle pouch and then a small front pouch, but I don't really use it for anything other than bringing like extra clothes out, really.
Oh, really?
I think that's the only thing that I use it for, because I don't bring anything else out.
You don't bring like a rangefinder?
I have that stuff, but that's all like, so I wear a harness every time I go out, because I hunt out of a tree stand, and it's all in my harness. That way, like, I just pull it right out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I throw all that in my bag, rangefinders,
Yep.
binoculars.
I used to, but what I was running into is every time I would walk to my tree stand, I was jumping deer. And if I need that rangefinder real quick, if I have it in my backpack, then I got to take the backpack off. I got to try to get it out all in time to range it and potentially shoot it. So,
I mean, I guess that's why I like the hip things too, because they are right there.
Yeah,
It's quick enough for me.
exactly.
I wish I had the problem jumping deer.
Let's get right into scents. That kind of goes with the whole clothing thing, I think.
Sid obviously doesn't have a backpack. I mean,
No. I remember just like going out with Dad, and he would carry like a chair for me to sit in. And then I would just have my gun. That's about it.
Remember when we sat that field and we saw that big spike horn? Like the biggest spike horn I've ever seen in my entire life. This thing had 2 spikes, like 16 inches.
yep.
And it was insane. And she almost pulled it off, but we had a doe, maybe 20 yards in front of us. It was looking at us. It would look away. Look at us. Look away. And then
I was sitting in the same position for so long that my legs started to cramp so bad that I had to move.
I was so pissed.
He was so mad that I moved. Because
Pissed.
they just booked it. I'm like, I couldn't sit here for
So
longer.
we're sitting there, and we had fooled this deer. Like this doe had no clue we were there. It was Sid, me, and my dad, and this spot is our honey hole. So we're sitting there, and the doe sees us, but she doesn't know that it's anything.
She was looking at us too.
And you got the doe, but you got the buck, and the buck's making its way, out into the middle of the field, almost broadside. And what does Sydney do? She moves.
I could not.
And what happens? All the deer go out of the field.
We were sitting there for so long.
I'm like, I just wasted 3 hours of my fucking life for you to move and ruin this whole hunt.
Yeah,
That's the hardest thing for me is like sitting there, just
Oh,
like
God.
not like, okay, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Oh my
to
god.
shift.
Cat is so bad with that.
I'm very
So
bad.
bad. I could sit there like a freaking statue for 4 or 5 hours. Cat's like moving around the tree. She's digging in her pockets, and I'm like, shit, still. Like, what the fuck?
I think I'm pretty good for like 3 hours, and then I'm
It's a mental game after that.
Yeah.
Bad.
like, I mean, even nowadays you can play on your phone too, just turn everything off. But
Yeah.
still, like, you're just sitting there for 3 hours. You're like, my ass is sore.
If there's no action, it's hard.
I haven't seen shit come in, even though I know they're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And you're like, maybe I'm wrong. It's time to move to see if I can drive one out or jump one.
Exactly. And that mental game is huge, man.
Right.
Yeah, I can play on the phone. Like I'll sit there, I'll have my phone out, like all right, and I'll like just hold it and I'll look around and I don't see anything. Like, all right, cool. Like, that's just like you said, the mental game. Like, all right, well, I've been here for about 2 hours now, or an hour and a half. It's like, okay, just keep sitting. And it's dark, and I'm like, all right, cool. It's been like 6 hours now. I'm gonna go home.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, scents. It kind of goes with the whole clothing thing.
So, what's like the market of scents? Because I just go to Walmart and get like the gold scent, right?
Yeah.
The golden estrus.
Sent away.
Scent away, yeah.
So, this is a touchy subject for me.
A lot of things are.
So, I used scents for a long time, and I thought they were like the coolest thing ever. They don't work.
No, we don't.
They don't fucking work.
Are you talking about like scents to bring things in? Like
Yes. Like mock scrapes.
Gotcha.
The Tank 69
Yep.
or the,
Like the one where it's a little drip and it like doesn't smoke out.
yeah.
So the only time I used that one was when I would get to my tree stand, and like then I would set it up and let it go just to see what the wind direction is, And if it's like, if it was the direction, because we're all saying like the deer would have came like at my 12 o'clock or 12 to 3, right, that area. I was like, okay, if the wind's blowing that way, I'm gonna leave it on and let it just run. So it kind of hides my scent.
Right. Yeah.
But if it was running like another direction, I would always just turn it off. I was like, to me, I don't think it worked enough to like, all right, let me use it to block it.
I honestly think that it works against you. And the reason I say this is because deer aren't stupid and they know that it's not a fresh deer, if that makes sense. Like they know that it's not a normal deer smell. Like it may smell to you like it smells like a deer, but if you've ever smelled, like when we were cutting up my deer and I had you smell the tarsal glands,
Oh yeah.
like you want to throw up. It's so bad.
So I would use like earth, like an earth scent, just a mask, not like a deer scent. I would just use like a earth or dirt or whatever like a natural scent was.
Yeah, like I use the scent away spray every time I go out, and then once I climb up in the stand, I spray again because you sweat getting up into the stand. But on the terms of like using stuff to get things to come in, I've had zero, even mock scrapes. I'll have a buck come to a mock scrape once and never come back again. And I've seen it ruin all my spots. So this year, I'm not using one scent at all, period.
Just your like scent away.
Yep,
Right?
just like to mask my own smell.
Yeah. Yeah, so I definitely use that. That was the one thing you taught me, was just use that stuff to mask my own smell. And then I would use that drip if the wind was blowing direction of where the deer, my shooting lines were. So it was like, okay, well, it'll mask my scent, but it was nothing to like drive it in a deer. Because I just never had it, I never used it, so I never had any luck with it, clearly.
Do you use anything, Chris?
So I mean, I have some in my bag. Back to that, like fucking tucked away in there. I mean, I think Tinks is really popular. And then the one I can think of comes in like a fucking, you know, those like pressurized spray cans. It's like that, like doe urine. I've tried that. I've tried the drips, the foam. Like you stick the foam piece into the vial, then hang it on a branch.
Yep.
Then I've even tried the droplets you're supposed to wrap around a handkerchief and then tie around your boot. I mean, I've tried them all, and I think what you said makes sense. Like they know it's not.
Right.
They might get curious at it, but they know it's not.
Exactly.
Real deer.
Yeah.
They just smell and get on the merry way because they don't give a turd.
Yeah.
So.
And I heard on a podcast, I don't know if this is true, but Mark Drury said it, so it's got to be true. Like, say you jump a deer on the way in, right?
Yep.
So that deer gets spooked, scared, runs off. If another deer comes by, it can smell that deer got frightened and won't come in. It'll literally go the opposite way.
I mean, that makes sense.
Okay, so think of it this way. Dog trackers, right?
Yeah.
The dogs don't go and smell the blood. They smell a gland that comes off the deer when it gets wounded. It's got to be like the same thing.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, Mark Drury said it, so it's got to be true.
Later.
I mean, maybe not smelling the fear in the air, but there's probably something that they're catching on to or letting go out.
Something.
Maybe they pee themselves or something. I don't know.
But I mean, with that being said, you can like fucking touch one off at a deer and then have another one walk in sometimes just because they're afraid of it.
I know. That's true too.
So
who knows?
Yeah. Animals are weird, guys.
Yeah.
Now what about with like bear hunting and stuff like that up here? Because deer hunting, that's also what we're referring to, right? Where it's blocks on deer and stuff like that.
So I mean, I think scent plays a huge game with bear hunting in the fact that they hunt with their noses. So that's why baiting is so popular with bears.
Right.
So if you got a good bait site going with all the sweet goodness.
You use like a scent, like to bring the bear in. Like
Yes. So this is how I've done it in the past: is you'll get your bait set. So in New Hampshire, you can't set your bait till the 1st of September. You can't. It's not like Maine where you can bait a month beforehand. So you'd set your bait out And what we'd do is we'd go around like a half-mile circle around the bait site and spray every like 20 yards. It's like an aroma, any scent that you want. And then what you do is you do the half mile and then you go out to a mile. And what happens is now you're out a mile and a half because they can smell about a half mile to a mile. And they'll smell that and keep coming in to your bait site.
Oh, wow.
So now you've expanded your...
What do you use? Like Dunkin' Donuts spray or something?
You could probably use anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but there's an actual bear spray. Like, I can't remember what it's called, but that's what we did anyways, and it worked out pretty well.
What else can you hunt in New Hampshire? Can you hunt like elk? Did you guys have elk up here? Elk farms?
No.
Did you have elk farms up here?
No.
In Maine?
I think we have elk farms, but I don't know if you can hunt them.
See, yeah, there's elk farms up here.
You're not hunting an elk farm.
It's not. Yeah, it's not like a
That's
preserve
wild.
where you can hunt them.
Oh, that's lame.
I mean-
I'm gone.
Moves back to Florida. Where's the elk down here?
I mean, coy dogs is an open season thing.
Yeah.
Bear, deer, are the major things. You can get picked for the moose lottery.
Okay.
Some places there's some hogs.
Yeah, they're moving up here. I mean, because they're one of those invasive species that you got to worry about.
Yeah. We used to do that back home.
Hog hunting.
Yeah.
I want to do that. My grandfather did that, and it looked like a fucking blast.
And my
You
buddies
know-
would get off a boat.
Well, you can go down to Florida or Texas and hunt them cheap. They want you to come down and shoot them.
So yeah, you can go to
They
like
pay you.
yeah, you can go to farmlands and like hunt for free. You don't have to get a license or anything.
Right.
Because
Right.
it's all agricultural.
Yep.
Obviously. So yeah.
We ought to
And
plan a trip like that.
Texas,
That'd be
you
cool.
can do like helicopter hunting.
Yes.
So you can like do like a whole package and they'll take you out in their land and give you like a rifle and you shoot out of the helicopter and shoot them. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, because I mean, hogs are such a big nuisance down there.
They
Yeah.
breed
ruin-
like every couple months.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
ruin crops
Mhm.
and destroy property.
And they're mean as fuck.
Yeah, they're pretty
Boys,
aggressive.
they are. Yeah, they are. I've never I've been with people who've hunted it or like gone with them, would never kill anything, but I've seen like videos of my buddies or my buddies told me stories of them hunting out there. I was like, dang. Not me.
So do you guys use any apps for like scouting or...
No, I've been trying to get you over to my house with your OnX app, so that way I don't have to buy it.
No, I use like Google and then do like the terrain thing, and I'll just pin that like on a heart or something. On my
That's
phone.
actually what I do too. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, all right, this is my hunting location, and then I went here, and then like I'll do like a little notes page, like, all right, spot one,
Yeah.
saw some deer, like this is where my lanes are, or whatever. Spot two, not shit. Spot three, I suck. Spot four, so on and so forth. Keep going with my life, but yeah, I usually just use Google, and then I'll go to like my notes, and I'll make a note of each spot, and like how far out my range is for that spot,
Okay.
and then like. When I get to my spot, I'll use my rangefinder, and then I'll like, all right, pin like that rock's 30 yards, that one's 40, 50, so on and so forth. So that's usually how I hunt. Yeah. But I don't have any apps. No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You either, Chris?
No, like I said, I've been trying to get you over to my house so I can use that OnX thing.
Yeah, I use Onyx and that. It's amazing.
Again, I'm too damn cheap to fucking buy it.
It's so helpful though. Like, you know, you can. It's got property lines, all the terrain. You can mark every spot that you want. You can mark it scrapes, rubs, all that stuff. Color code everything.
And you do it from your phone, or do you have like a, is that your
Just
app?
from my phone. Like if I walked out in the backyard right now to the corner of the property, it would show exactly that on my app.
Wow.
To the T. So it's nice because like say you have neighbors that aren't big into hunting, you can be just on the inside of your property.
Right.
So
And then does it give you like, all right, who lives on who
Yep.
owns that property? So
Yep.
like if you want to,
you can contact them and
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's sweet. My dad uses Hunt Stand and Huntwise, and I think it's Huntwise gives you the wind direction. It'll give you, which days are the best days to hunt.
Now is like the wind direction like on your spot, or just like is
Yep.
it off
No, it
the
goes-
channel like?
It goes right to your spot. Like say you go to this exact spot that you marked that you want to hunt. It'll give you the exact wind cone too that you're going. That it's going. Yeah, it's sweet.
What's like? How much do those cost? Those apps?
I think I paid like $25 for Onyx or something like that.
A month or?
No, that's for the year.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Ouch.
For the whole year. You're an idiot.
Hey, that's my DNA test. Less than 1% European Jewish right over here. That's where it comes out.
It was one exactly.
1%.
I thought about using Onyx, but I guess that goes back to where I was like, all right, well, I need to get into it before I start committing.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like you go to a piece of woods and you look at that, it gets you into it. Like, you get to do more research than just like going and walking out in the woods. You can literally look at your phone, pick a spot, and say, I want to go out there, walk right to it. So it gives you a little more of a incentive to walk a mile out in the woods. You know what I mean? And like, say you got trail cameras out there, you can mark exactly where your trail cameras are. That's, was the big reason I got it, was because I run like 30 trail cameras. So
Right. And you run like multiple spots.
yeah, like multiple spots. So it's. And actually, speaking of trail cameras, what do you run for trail cameras?
Again, I think I gave you my trail camera. I'll let you use it. It's one of your 30, but. I just use, my big thing was just make sure I had a somewhat decent megapixel quality and did the IR, infrared at night. That was really it. That's all I cared about. I didn't get like the low ball, like the $20, $30 special one. I guess a little more like the $40, $50 range. It was a clearance item. So that's what I run. But
Yours is nice though. It's a stealth cam. It takes good pictures. Like when we set it out, we had good bucks on it, and
good video, and video quality was pretty good too.
It was.
Yeah. And it did have sound, if I remember right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's been a while. I want to get like 2 more. Like at least 3 so I can set up like 3 different spots.
Now, do you want to go expensive or do you want to go cheap?
Man, I want to go expensive, but I mean expensive to me is like 50 or like 70, $80. That's expensive.
So you can get, like, if you do it right and get it at the right time, you can get the cell phone cameras for like $89.
The ones where like you put it out there and it like notifies your phone.
Yeah, it goes right to my phone.
That'd be freaking sweet.
Isn't there a law going on that like you're not allowed to use those during the season?
So the law right now is like, and it depends on how you set your camera up too. You can't hunt it the same day you get a picture. So like say, 12 o'clock runs, 12 a.m. You get a picture at 12:01. You can't hunt that spot for that whole day.
Damn.
Is that New Hampshire only, or?
I don't know. I only hunt New Hampshire, so that I only pay attention to New Hampshire. But that's why it depends, when you get those pictures.
Right.
So if you were smart, you would do it at like 11:50 at night. That way, you're not getting those pictures till night, and then you can still hunt the whole next day.
Gotcha.
So you got to be careful with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know you can't use drones either.
Nope, can't use drones either, even for scouting.
Yeah, because they both fall under like is it unfair chase?
Yep.
Yep.
What do you use for cameras, Chris?
That cheap one. It's like game and
I think you have Wild Game.
yeah, wild game.
Yeah. That's like the go-to.
Yeah, I mean, because you get them at Cabela's when they're like on their on sale for $20 a pop.
Yeah, and they're good cameras.
They're not. Yeah, and they're decent.
Yeah.
They last long. They have long battery life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just a simple SD card and it holds a bunch of pictures. Might as well.
Right.
How often were you going in the woods to like check your cameras?
Man, before like not this last year, but the year or two before it, I would check them, if not once a week, every 2 weeks. Just because I have that messed up schedule, so on my weekends off, I would try to go and get out into the woods to check the cameras.
Oh,
So but this is before hunting season, because like, if I wasn't checking cameras during hunting season, I would be out hunting.
yeah.
So to touch on that, like checking cameras, for me, I check them, 2 weeks is like the soonest that I'll check them. 4 weeks is probably the max. So about 3 weeks is when I like to check them, but in the rain. And the reason I do it in the rain is because my scent washes away immediately. I leave no trace at all in the woods.
Gotcha.
I can't tell you the amount of times in the past that I was like, oh, they'll never smell me. They'll never, they smell you. Because I would go check my cameras in the middle of the summer every week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you would see the pictures plummet. Last year and the year before, I started going out in the rain, checking them every 3 to 4 weeks, and pictures galore. And you just try to pattern them.
I mean, but like you're saying, you have so many cameras that like you can satisfy your itch to go check them.
That's true.
Because I
have them spread out so far that...
And you have 30 cameras, so you could check 3 1 week, 3 the next week, and you can do that for 10 weeks.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, what I started doing was using the cell phone cameras. Last year, I had one, and then this year I bought 2 more, and I'm just going to keep buying one like every month. And it's amazing. Like, I'm telling you, you don't have to go out in the woods. Like, you don't have to put them in your honey holes where you think that you can have, the biggest bucks. Don't go out there. It gets sent right to your phone, and then just check the other cameras.
See, I mean, I get that from wanting to get a deer point of view, but isn't that kind of messing with the point of trying to get out in the woods and do something?
But he has like 30
Ouch.
He has 30 other cameras. He's like, I don't have time to check.
Right.
I
ain't got time for that.
Exactly. So it's his itch. I think when I was checking mine, I was doing mine every week, or like every other week, the max. It was 1 to 2 weeks that I was checking it. And I had no drop off until like the season started getting closer.
I know, that was crazy.
Yeah, and then like remember I had if people don't know, I had like a family walking on a hike through my camera.
Where were you set up?
In the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
On like a steep ridge where no family should ever be walking.
And it was like a mom, dad, and 2 little like 8-year-olds. And they're just like, hey mom, look at this. And they're walking.
Yeah.
It's like,
right in the middle. Like, we had a good spot up, like, it was real thick behind him, steep ridge with a big opening in front of him. 50
yard shot in front of me,
And they walked right in front of his camera. I'm like, I don't understand.
They didn't look familiar, like neighbors or anything?
Nope.
No.
Never seen them.
And since that point, I just remember the video footage just dropped.
It did.
Dramatically. I was like,
literally, when they walked through it, over.
Yeah.
And no one's seen the family since.
For legal purposes, that was a joke.
So let's get into tree stands and.
Well, hold on. So,
oh boy,
you said you use the cell phone ones,
mm-hmm.
but obviously you have like 50 more.
Yeah.
Do you care a preference of
no.
what other ones you have, or
no.
what do you look for? Is it just like a good price?
Mostly, I run Wild Game Innovations. They're, like Chris said, they're cheap. You can pick those suckers up for, on sale $20-something bucks.
Right, yeah.
When they're originally like 40-something.
Okay.
And I've had one for 6 years now that I leave out year round and it's still going.
Wow.
So, I mean, they're good cameras.
Yeah, they are decent.
Like yours is good that I use. That is now mine.
Yeah.
I bought some of those Tasco cheapies from Walmart for like $16, and they take pictures, but too many pictures.
Yeah, they're really sensitive. Right?
Oh my god!
I think I have one or two of those, and they're just
you go brutal. Out and you put the SD card in your computer or whatever it is, and it says like 600 pictures. You're like, holy shit! I finally found it.
Yeah.
And then it's just like twigs moving in the breeze, or a leaf flowing down.
So do you guys use, when you go out to the woods and you take your cameras, do you guys use like a special like tablet for it, or do you bring your laptop?
I take an SD card with me, and I take the old one out and walk back out of the woods.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I just replace the SD card and walk back out.
Nice.
So I used to do it like that.
But then it got all fancy and shit.
The reason I don't do that is because
they get sent right to your phone?
Well, no. Say you don't have pictures on that SD card.
Yep.
Now you just wasted a whole trip, and now you've got to go all the way back out and move the camera. So if what I do is I have a little Wild Game Innovations, that thing right over there. It's like this
it's
big.
a little tablet.
Looks like a Game Boy. And I stick the card in there, and if I have decent pictures, I'll leave it. If I don't, I'm moving it. So I use it just to see if there's like any decent pictures on there. I don't use it to like flip through pictures, because if I see pictures on there, I'll just take the SD card and put another one in.
So I bring out a new SD card when I did it, and then with my phone, you can have they make like a USB
Adapter.
An adapter that plugs into your phone charging port, and then you can just view it right there on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just use your phone and you plug in like the little adapter and plug your SD card in there. And like you said, if you have photos on there, just swap the SD cards and move on.
And I hardly know how to run my TV, so I don't want to deal with that.
Dude, you just gotta try it out. That's
Man.
how I watch movies on plane.
Nah. And when I like plug the SD card into my computer, I'm like, now which fucking button do I hit now?
I was the same way. I like the laptop that's in front of me. No idea how to use it. Like when we were starting this,
Yeah, it's Mac.
I couldn't even get the like Microsoft Word to pop up. It was so bad. It's not even Microsoft Word because it can't have it on the computer.
It's Mac. Mac doesn't do Microsoft. Microsoft is.
I couldn't get Microsoft on my Apple computer.
Well,
Why can't you?
I tried to
They're
buy
two
it.
separate.
It's like Sony and
entities.
Xbox. It's two different companies.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, trust me, I went through it.
That's just ignorant, but whatever.
So tree stands.
Wait, before we get into that, fucking make computers work with one another.
Thank you.
For us simple people.
Yeah.
Done.
They do make classes for that.
Do they? Probably cost too much money.
Oh yeah.
So tree stands.
Yes.
Fuck them.
I think
My favorite subject.
the most important thing of a tree stand is a cushion. I don't know. Listen, you already know what you're bringing out there. It's going to be heavy and bulky and annoying. Number one, doesn't matter what type of tree stand it is, whether you buy the cheapest, lightest one, or you just get the Walmart special. What are you doing for 5 hours? Sitting on your ass, waiting for a fucking deer.
You can buy a thermoset.
All that matters is the seat cushion.
Yeah, buy a thermoset. Stick that sucker right on there.
Yeah, but then when you have like the not like a tree climber and like you get back into one, put that thermoset thing back there, it's all fucking weird. You have a wobbly ass and you gotta stand up, it falls down, and your spooks and runs.
That's why you tie it to the seat. You gotta be smart,
Bro, too much work. Just get one cushion. Tree stand people make cushions.
Brand's chief complaint, cushion.
Cushion. Motherfucking cushions.
Well, I will give it to you. The cushion on the tree stand that you used was pretty bad.
Oh yeah. And I did have the thermos
It was
seat,
rough.
and it was like cool. Like half of it was hanging out front, and I was like, "This isn't really helping." So I just put it down on the bottom stand. I just suffered. But I had a tree climber, and then I used your like
Hang on.
The hang on one was fine. The tree climber one was okay. It was just like leaving it out in the woods. I didn't know how really to do that with the tree climber. I just kind of like brought it all the way down and left it there. Like it's kind of weird. So I like the hang on one personally.
Chris? I know you can't use a hang on because of the weight limit. That's not a fat joke.
It's the truth.
That's a big person joke.
No, I mean, the tree stand I got was a fucking 2-person one, and I mean, the weight limit on that's pretty fucking close to me anyways.
Do you like it though?
I haven't used it.
Oh, okay.
Made me
You
go.
haven't even gotten up in it?
No.
He made me drive all the way to
You
Bass
didn't-
Pro.
Wait a minute.
Get it. And then I got it home, and then he never used it.
Me and Brian had a hard time putting it together when I was fucking hammered.
You didn't even set it up? In the woods?
No, because
No.
that weekend my mom went into the hospital.
Yeah, we went over that though. Okay.
Right. So, it's not that I didn't want to, because obviously I wanted to try it, but like I
set it up in the yard.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
and we went over that last time. Remember, I just fucking put it up against the garage, looked at it, and I'm like,
Do I?
this is gonna fucking suck.
It looks a lot higher than it is.
Oh, sure it does.
I think I used your like 2-seater tree stand that you had out in the woods, and I remember sitting in it and I was like, this is fucking high. And like bowed.
Yes, you did.
And
That wasn't a 2-seater though.
was there 1-seater?
Yeah. And that one is sketchy.
Yeah, like half up the ladder, the thing was like bowing, and I was like, dick to a tree. I was like, this is fucking weird, and it just kept going up. I'm like, I just don't get out of this.
Yeah.
But I mean, also with that, like, I've never even set up a tree stand, so like, I'm afraid and when I do go to set it up, I'm gonna read the pictures wrong and fuck everything up. Get halfway up the damn thing and like fall off backwards. That'd just be my luck. Terrified of heights, man. Terrified of
I think the hardest part was just getting the stand up there.
It is.
Especially if you don't, like, you're ghetto like me, you don't use any safety features. You're just winging it. It's sketchy. I don't like it.
Well, that's why. Remember that picture I sent you? I got those safety lines.
Yeah. Where'd you get them at?
Walmart. $7 a piece. Originally $30 a piece.
That's awesome.
And those things are a lifesaver. You set it up and you literally hooked in the whole time. Like if you fall, you're hooked in. So it's sweet.
Do you keep the footrest on your harness too? Like the foot relief? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm talking about? So they have like, for like if you're hanging from a stand, right, and it has like it's like a string with like a little like opening, and you put your foot in it and you lift up to help relieve the pressure so your legs hold the circulation.
I know what you're talking about, but no, I don't use it.
You know,
It's on the harness, right?
it's on the harness,
Yeah.
or it comes with the harness.
Yeah, actually mine are, it's funny you say that, I think they're pouches, like little tiny pouches in the back of the harness.
I definitely didn't use that when I did use a harness. Like when I was up in the sand, I just threw it in the bag. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I was just...
I don't even know what you would use that for.
It, like you said, so like if you actually fall and you can't like rescue yourself from the fall,
If you're
and you're just chilling out in the fucking hanging from a tree, you put your foot in it so that way you don't cut off the circulation to your legs. Because if you're hanging up there for 7 hours, the next thing you know, you're gonna have some
I want
problems
to say
with
it's
your
like
legs.
10 minutes.
That's why you buy a good harness.
No,
But even with a good harness, it can cause damage to the
Yeah,
circulation
but
in your
a
legs.
lot of the new harnesses, they'll hook here, like on your, like over your stomach
Yeah.
and your butt, and it's not your legs.
so
I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Brian's doing the math in his head.
So it just goes like the front butt and then the back butt, but don't just slide
It's
out.
like a tree saddle. Like a tree. You ever seen a tree saddle?
Now I want another. I'll put that in my notes to Google.
Tree saddle.
Tree saddle.
It's the new
But
new
front butt.
wave. It's a little granola for me, but. So what I use for stands,
All of them.
I use double stands, like the ladder stands
Yep.
for me and Kat. I have my dad's got the single ladder stand that we use, and then he's got a climber. I use that a little bit, but mostly I use the hang-ons with like the Hawk helium steps, and they weigh like freaking 2 pounds a piece. So between the hang-on stand and the steps, I'm maybe 40 pounds plus my backpack, maybe into it 50 pounds on my back, and then I lug it out and I can set it, like I have it down pat now where I can set it up within 25 minutes. So if I want to move around,
Yeah.
I can move it fast, and that's what I did last year. I moved here, moved there, and had a bunch of stands preset, and then moved around.
How many stands do you have?
10.
10.
I have one.
I have 0.
Ah,
So that makes me feel better.
Like I said,
Yes,
use
you-
mine.
you want one?
I mean, I gave him my camera, so it's free will to use everything he has, including the
I'm
honors.
telling you. Use it. I'll give you the password.
There you go. There you go.
I'll give it to you right now.
Do you ever hunt out of blinds? I know your dad does.
My dad does. I hate it.
Why?
Hate it with a passion.
Why?
I can't see anything.
If you're rifle hunting, hunting out of a blind is definitely easier. It's not a big deal. I remember I was trying to practice for deer season. I was trying to shoot my bow out of my blind, and I got so cattywampus in there. My release went with my bowstring, and it was one of the thumb releases,
I remember
and it
this.
clipped me right in the fucking eye.
I thought he lost his eye. I was freaking out.
Holy smokes.
It hurt like a son
How
of a
does
bitch.
that even happen, though?
Just how, like, how large I am in this fucking ground blind, kneeling down, trying to get like everything to work right, and I fucked up.
So let's put this into perspective. A ground blind is what, like 52 by 52, like an average.
I don't even know if this one was that.
Had to have been. But anyways,
It's like 12 feet.
Well, how tall are you?
Well, 52 is almost 4.5 feet. So maybe.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
How much do you weigh?
300 pounds.
So you're a giant of a man in a tiny ass ground blind.
And that's my wife making fun of me, everyone.
She said yes. I wouldn't mind hunting a blind. I like it.
It's not, again, if you're hunting with a rifle, it's not bad.
My buddy, he hunts with a rifle, and he just sits, puts his back against a tree, and just sits and hangs out.
That's what I do.
And he gets them.
Hey,
I don't do that.
whatever works, man. I mean, I've done it before. That's, that's what my dad does.
I mean, that's what me and you do sometimes too when we go to that field.
Yeah.
I think I like more of like the hunting and moving aspect.
A stock hunt.
Yeah, I think that's a little more fun to me.
I like that too.
The sitting in a tree stand, it's just you have to be patient. You have to like have that like ability.
It's hard in New Hampshire though, man.
Because of so many people hunting.
But not only that, but like whitetails in New Hampshire is so skittish, man.
Yeah. No, I mean you're right. But to like go back to your you need the best way to actually have the patience to sit in a tree stand is knowing that they're there.
Yeah.
So that way
cameras.
That way you don't get demotivated.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying because you want to walk around, go see what the fuck's out there.
That's why you got to hunt. Antelope and muleys out in Wyoming.
I mean, I'm willing to do that. Or the elk in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I just want to go elk hunting, right?
If there's an elk farm out there, guys, just be careful.
So, what are you guys running for guns when you gun hunt?
So,
What's your go-to?
I use a bolt action 30-06. Remington 770 is what it is. And then I have a Leopold sight on it. And that, I love it. I love it.
Running a big boy sight.
Hey, I had when I bought it, it had this little like Bushmaster sight that came with it. Put 2 rounds in it, and the internals of the sight shattered.
Oh my god.
I was like, cool.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like literally the first 2 shots because I was sighting in the sight. And I was like, why is it so blurry? So I asked the guy at the gun ranges, I think your sight just blew up. So
Did it come with the gun?
Yeah, it came with the gun.
And they didn't replace it?
No, well, I got it at what is it called? Flea market.
Oh, okay.
Gun flea markets, what are they called? So I got it at one of those, and then I moved up here, and then I was like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna get a Leopold because I know this is good quality.
Well, you know what? Some dude probably had a nice sight on that. It's like, he probably put one back on it just because he was selling it.
Yeah.
And he gave you the shit in. That's
well,
sick.
it was brand new. It was just, it probably was like the one that came with the gun, and it was just like the basic or whatever. But I love it. Like I love shooting that gun. I feel so comfortable shooting it from a distance. I put a bipod on it, and it's so much fun. Like I like taking it out to your spot to go shoot range out by you guys in Ospey.
Is it Archie's?
No, it's out by that cemetery.
Archie's Pit.
Yeah, it's Archie's Pit then.
Yeah, that's the spot. I love it. I love taking it there.
Yeah, it's fun out there. My deer rifle is a Savage Axis I got when I was 15 years old. It's the first rifle I ever bought. Has the same scope on it, and it's a Bushnell. And I mean, it's not a bad rifle. I'm pretty good with it up to 100 yards. There's really no downside to it, except like hunting in New Hampshire. I've come to find out like 308 bolt action. I want to get a 30-30 with a
30-30 bolt action or lever?
Lever. I want a lever gun.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Because you're shooting in New Hampshire, it's like 50 to 70 yards.
Yeah.
And 30-30 is great for that. It's a great deer gun.
My dad has a 300 Savage lever action, That thing is the balls.
Really?
Oh, it's amazing.
But that's an old gun too.
It is an old gun.
I would love to get a lever action.
Yeah, I want one. Right now it's hard to get them because they're just way too pricey.
Yeah, and everyone wants them.
Right.
That's why they're so pricey.
What do you use?
So I don't gun hunt that much, but when I do use a gun, I was using a 270 Remington semi-automatic. I actually shot.
Yeah, that's what you got your big buck with.
That big one with, but I actually, so I won a 30-06 A-bolt Browning from deer pool from shooting the biggest deer.
Oh.
And that's what I use now is that, and that's what I shot my deer this previous year with. And I don't know, I like the gun. It's light, it shoots decent, but that 270, man, it shoots so straight. Like, you never even have to touch the sight, like year after year after year. It's got a Charles Daly sight on it. So like back in the day, that was like a Leupold.
Yeah.
You know, like one of the top sights until they stopped making them. But yeah, that's what I use.
Do you ever hunt with a slug gun? Because that's what I use sometimes.
No.
You?
No. What's that?
It's you have a 12 gauge shotgun.
You just throw a slug round in it?
You throw a slug barrel on it and then slug rounds through it.
Wow.
With that, you're only looking at 50, 60 yards, 70. I mean, you can reach out and touch it, but like it's gonna be a tough shot because it's just so heavy. It's just gonna lob itself.
Dang.
So let's talk about my favorite subject, bows.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And we're gonna start with Sydney.
Oh, cool.
What do you got for a bow, Sydney?
It's a Bowtech.
Is it a Bowtech?
Yeah, it's a Bowtech gun.
Well, yeah. Oh my god.
You just got it, didn't you?
Yes.
Oh, she made a purchase.
I'll answer all her questions for you guys if you want.
She upgraded.
I did. I don't even know. I was using a bear
Yeah.
kid's bow.
It was pretty much a kid's bow too. Like, I mean, it would probably kill a deer, but.
I mean, we had that thing.
It was up to
50 pounds.
50.
It was.
And you were shooting what? Did we have that one up to 50?
40. It was at 40.
Your new one's out to 50 though. Right?
Yes.
Right.
I've gone into 50, yeah.
Because yours is I think it's a single pin.
No.
No,
hers is
Mine
a
is.
single.
Mine
Is it a
has
4
3.
pin?
I have 3.
Yeah.
I have 3.
20, 40, 50.
I'm gonna have to argue with you.
No, 20, 30, 40.
Yeah.
No, I was shooting it at 50 at your party. Remember that? Your Halloween party?
Oh.
No, it wasn't your Halloween party. Shit.
It was just the cookout we had.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was shooting that sucker at 50.
Were
So it's
you?
got to be a 4 pin.
Alright, 4. That
Anyways.
clearly shows how much I've used it.
Anyways.
I'm here for everyone. I'm always ready.
How many shots have you put through it?
I mean, when I first got it, I was shooting it.
I
But
shot it here quite a bit.
yeah. Because I thought we were going to be able to use it for tack. But
Yeah.
that went to...
And that's why you got it, because otherwise you wanted to go with the new breed.
I wanted a new breed seduction. And I could, like, customize it how I wanted to.
Yeah, but the one you got weighs like freaking 2
Oh, it's
pounds.
like a pound. It's
It's
so
the
light.
lightest bow I've ever held in my
It's
life.
so easy to shoot.
It's smooth.
Yeah, it's a decent bow.
I like it. I just didn't want that color. It's like an ugly camo.
Yeah, I mean, but we're looking at getting it dipped for you.
Yeah, I do want
And then we'll restring it at some point. I mean, it's a bow. You can do whatever the hell you want to it.
Yeah. It is not light though. It's
Yeah.
really easy.
It
to
shoots
shoot.
good too. It really does.
How much you pay?
What was it like?
7?
$750
It was like
or something?
$700.
Hey, that's not bad.
And that was with everything.
That yeah.
Yeah, because we got the
You got the
4 pin sight, quiver, stabilizer,
and a rest.
and a rest.
Yes.
Yeah. And you got all of it for like $700.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it wasn't like a whisker. Is it a whisker biscuit? No, it's a
It's
drop away
not,
rest.
yeah.
Because it had the whisker biscuit.
Right. and
Right,
I was
we
like,
just
I don't
replaced
want
it.
that.
I told you to get the.
Yes.
Yeah, those are.
Heard of
Because
that
I had that on the bear one. Yeah.
Garbage.
Garbage.
Brandon?
I got a Diamond Infinite Edge, and I got it from Cabela's. And it's not bad. It does the job. I think the biggest thing with that is it definitely goes out of tune pretty easily. You put like 50 arrows through it, and then it's already starting to like change.
And that's what's going to happen when you buy a bow like that. And even like your bear, those things go out of tune so fast.
Yeah, I've upgraded a little bit. So I've upgraded like the sight, the drop down release, and then I think that's really actually it. That's all I've upgraded. But the sight, I love the sight. It's just again like you're saying, like it just when they go out of like sync or whatever. My sight, my one pin like it changes all of the settings. Yeah. So now it's just a guessing game, really.
Yeah.
So I think I like about it, but. One thing I don't understand is like stabilizers. Like, how do you know what to get and what's
it's personal preference.
But what are you looking for? To be like, okay, this is good and this is not good.
It's so like when you're at full draw, it's basically the name of it. It stabilizes your bow, like the weight difference. Like you could put different weight on it. You could put different lengths on it. It's all personal preference and what you're shooting for. They make back bars, so like you can get a back bar, front bar, and then mess with the weights, so the thing literally like balances itself. And it all depends how far down the rabbit hole you want to get. I'm deep in the rabbit hole.
Because I definitely thought about getting like the tack cam on it.
Yeah,
tack cam stabilizer.
You can do that.
But who was I talking to? So I was talking to a guy at Coyote Creek, and he was like, most people they'll like get a stabilizer and they'll put it on there and they're like, all right, this isn't the right one. It's too heavy front or whatnot. How does that work with like a tack cam?
It's just going to lighten the front end of it.
It's just going to lighten it and that's it?
Yeah. Okay. And it's vibration as well. Like it'll keep the vibration from going the whole way through the bow. The other route you can go is you can get a stabilizer and there's you can get a GoPro. And they make GoPro mounts that goes on the stabilizer, so you can have your stabilizer plus the GoPro.
But won't that mess up your stability?
It depends.
Not really.
Not really, because I mean the GoPros they make now are pretty light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean not much, but like if you shoot with your quiver on or off, that matters. Like
I think this year my goal is to actually get back into bow hunting because that's all I want to shoot this year.
I'm forcing all of you to get into it, and
it just depends on how hard. It depends how hard this year I go with it. If I upgrade my bow the following year, because I want to upgrade my bow, but I can't justify it yet to upgrade it.
Yeah, but they make like they at Coyote Creek they have wicked good deals on bows, like used bows.
Do they? I mean, like.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm comfortable with my bow. I just hate the fact of like switching, of like doing the fucking. Getting out of tune and having to retune it.
I know. You put like 400 or 500 shots in it, and then it's out of tune.
Yeah.
Chris, you have a new breed, right?
Yeah, I have the new breed XD35, I think. Thing's sweet. I love that thing.
And yours is fairly new too, right?
Yep, I got it.
Brand new, yeah.
Yeah, last year. Yep. Splurge got it for myself. It's got a new breed stabilizer on the front. My drop away rest is the what is it? I forget what it's called. It was on my original bow. It's just the newer version of it. Fucking my rest was $250.
Oh shit! That's gonna piss me off now that I can't remember.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? And
Vapor Trail, right?
Maybe.
I think it's Vapor Trail.
And then the sight is the one you
Trophy Ridge.
Yep, single pin.
React 1 single pin.
Which I love that single pin. I think
that's a badass sight.
And then I have that thing.
That thing's like literally sights itself in. You shoot at 20, and then you shoot at 30, and it sets the whole thing for you.
Right. And
all the way to 100.
Yep. And then I think the only other thing I got for it was there's a cheaper quiver. And by cheaper, I mean it was still like $50, but
yeah, which isn't really that cheap. I mean,
right.
A good one's 140.
Right. And I mean I have that thing set at 70 pounds, and it fucking flies. I love that thing. And I think
we haven't shot that long range yet, right?
Were you guys both shooting?
Me and you were going.
Was that your bow that we were shooting?
Yeah, 100. And I was just off to the side a little bit each shot.
Right.
So my left to right, my Up and down was good. My left to right was a little
Yeah.
off, which might have just been my fault, not the
I
bow.
didn't realize that was that bow.
Yep, it was my new bow. That fucking thing goes good. But the only reason I ever actually tune it is just because I want to stay on top of it.
Yeah. Which isn't a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like it ever comes out of tune. It just needs to be touched up.
Mine does. Like, I can tell mine comes out of tune.
Right.
And then I remember going to Coyote Creek, or at the time, it was, I think Brian's archery. No, it was Coyote Creek. And he's like, yeah, because your cams are all off. I was like, all right, well, here you go. Just take it and do your work.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll be back in a week.
Yeah.
What do you use?
So I used a
Beer back, use the bathroom.
Hoyt RX1, and it was a good bow. The reason I didn't like it was the vibration throughout the whole bow, and it didn't. The back wall of it sucked, in my opinion. But the thing I hated the most about it was I couldn't get out that far, even with different arrow setups that I used. I just couldn't do it. So I bought a Prime Nexus 4, which hasn't come in yet. I'm chomping at the bit to get that thing because I got it at 70 pounds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a little bit of a heavier arrow and see if I can get out to 100 with my sight tape.
Oh, wow.
That's my goal. Because last year, what I had to do with my bow was I had to guesstimate because I could only get out to about 90 yards without the arrow hitting my sight. Because with a single pin, your sight drops,
Yeah.
and then it'll hit the arrow. So I have to basically guesstimate like 100 yards on the pin. I'd have to hold the pin over the target, however much, and then shoot. Which I actually got pretty good at that, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I was doing that with mine at like 40 because of how bad my fucking bow was. Because like, it was like, yeah, because like 20 was good, 30 was good, and then like from 40, 40 it was like, I would have to go on my pin. At 40 yards, I had to go like 45-ish. And then if I did 50, it was like close to 60. It made no sense.
We're fixing that this year.
Yeah, well, yeah, I need to go drop it off. So I can get it retuned. And then I might just, at Coyote Creek, just have them like retape it, do my 20 and have them measure it out so it's set. Because it has the tape on it, but it's just not accurate. It's so frustrating. And I hate the guesstimating.
So would you go to a single pin?
I have a single pin.
You have a single pin?
Yeah, I have a single pin, and then I'll move it to like I'll keep it at 20, and
What
then
do you have for a single pin?
I don't know, man. It's a good one though. I didn't pay $1 for it. I paid actually a good deal on it. I got it at
Is it an HHA?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I don't know. It's
Shit's all jacked up.
It's I'll get back to you.
What I run for a sight is a CBE. I think it's the hybrid. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the single pin dovetail, and I love that sight. Freaking amazing. It's super durable. I love that sight.
Really?
And I love the trophy ridge that I had, but this thing is even better in my opinion. I run a QAD rest. I run a whoopie stick stabilizer, which is okay. I'm probably going to switch to a bee stinger probably. And what I use for a release is a Scott Sigma thumb release, 3-finger thumb release.
Those are touchy though.
Mine is basically the step above a back tension. So like you touch this thing and that sucker's going off.
So do you keep your thumb set on it like at all, or do you just leave your thumb down and then you're ready to bring your thumb?
So the way I have it set up is I put it in the crease of my thumb and my finger.
So then when you just go like that.
So literally it's here. People can't see this, but you put it here, and all you do is you move like this.
You just squeeze
and
your
it
fingers
goes
together.
Yeah, you squeeze your fingers together and it goes off. Which is basically what a back tension is. It basically cures target panic. so you can't know when you're pushing the button or pulling the trigger.
That's something I should look into.
You know what I mean? So like, say you're holding on the target and you go to pull the trigger and you go, that's target panic. You're worried about hitting the center. So
yeah, mine's more leaning forward. Like I lean into the shot.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'll probably check that out. I use the HHA.
I figured.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Those are good sites too. That's what I started
I
with.
fucking love it. I love it minus like the tape not being accurate.
You must have multiple tapes for it though.
Yeah, those are long gone.
You know what you can do though too is what I did on my old HHA, which my dad has now on my old bow, is silver Sharpie.
Yep.
And you can mark it like that.
Yeah, I know. When I talked to the guys at Carey Creek, they said like you can go there and they'll like throw a whole new tape on there with new.
Yeah, they're awesome at Carey Creek.
Yeah, they are.
Josh Morris is a stud of a bow tech. I mean, he's freaking nuts at what he does. So.
Yeah.
So let's close this out with the processing end of deer hunting. How we process deer.
You tell me. The boy hasn't done it.
You haven't done it with us?
I did it 1 year with you, but I think I came and I just helped you. I helped you like skin it. I think that's all I did. Or no, I took some meat off. That's right. That was like a few years ago.
And you did it this year.
I've done it with you a couple times.
Yeah.
I've done it before with other people.
Yeah. I do all my own stuff now.
Yeah.
Just because, one, I know what I'm getting and I can cut it the way that I want it. And I'm not spending $100 and something bucks on getting meat cut up that should be doing myself.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you're going to go out and you shoot a deer, you should be cutting it up yourself. My opinion. To each your own, but it's more respect to the animal.
I think as long as like you have some, like for me, first year I'm not going to know, how to do a good cut, right? Because I'm not experiencing this. So
right.
As long as you have someone who's experienced, you can kind of like, hey, this is what you're looking at, this is what you do.
Which honestly, I didn't have, and I used to bring mine to a butcher. And lucky enough, I had a family member. It was actually Bree's uncle that helped me out, and he taught me how to do it. And
Nice.
I picked it up and ran with it.
Nice.
And I think that's huge, is having someone that's able to teach you or willing to teach you, and then once you know how to do it, you should be doing it on your own.
I agree. I can agree with that. And you gut it out in the field, or do you gut it and you bring it back?
I got it in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you should field dress it before you start dragging it.
Yeah.
I mean, the longer that stuff stays in there, the more
especially if you gut.
shoot it, paunch it. The more meat that's going to go bad, especially with it sitting in there.
And you think you dragging a deer like that out of the woods with all the guts in it? Yeah, all set. It took 5 of us to drag that freaking thing out.
Yeah.
But you guys got anything else to close out on?
No, probably.
Sid?
No.
Cool.
Hell yeah, brother.
Sweet. Well, I just want to thank the Virtue Builders for making us able to do this podcast. We definitely wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Yep.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks
Sweet.
for joining us.